No, the title is not clickbait, and the footage you're currently watching is evidence of that. The content creator in front of you right now is Ellie Noir, and this is her completing her very first NoHit run of Elden Ring in only 9 days of practice and attempts, with me being her coach throughout that time.
You guys, it's over. We did it.
Before practicing for this run, she had zero hitless experience in Elden Ring or any of the Souls games. I often tell people that I personally believe that anyone who has played through Elden Ring at least once can know the game in 2 weeks or less. And I often receive pushback to that claim. People often say, "But CBD, you have no idea just how bad I am." Or, "If it's so easy for someone to get a hitless run that quickly, then prove it." So I did. So if you want to join the hundreds of people who have completed a no-hit run for Elden Ring, then this is the ultimate guide for you. Full disclaimer though, simply following this guide will not be enough to achieve a hitless run in 2 weeks. You will have to practice each boss and running section many times in order to be consistent with every part of the run. To help with this, I will link in the description important tools that you can use to help you get a hitless run as fast as possible. One tip I should give before we jump into the guide is to try to practice each boss and running section separately, 10 times in a row successfully before seriously attempting runs. If you cannot perform a section of the run 10 times in a row, then you are not consistent enough with that section to reliably not make a mistake during an actual run when the pressure starts to rise. And with that, let's get to the video. The starting class you're going to want to pick is the Samurai class, with the starting keepsake being the cracked pots. Once you load into the game, enter Grafted Scion's arena and jump off the ledge to the left. Remember, this is a mandatory death since you would have to jump off the ledge anyway if you defeat Grafted Scion. After you enter Limgrave, pick up the rune outside the church and touch the grace next to Kale. Pick up the kukris that are on your way to the gatefront grace and rest here. After accepting Melon as a chord, ride over to the open area in front of the carriage and headshot this enemy with Mighty Shot. Then pick up the flail from the chest. Ride through Gatefront and up to Stormveil Shack to get the grace. Then head southeast to pick up the smithing stones by the chairs. Head to the graveyard and pick up the runes that are on the graves. Then go up the hill in front of Stormveil Shack and get the strength tier. Descend the cliff and get the War Master Shack grace. Head up the hill that has the cavalry knight, sneak up on him, and unsheath him twice. If you do it correctly, he will fall off his horse and you can riposte. Loot Golden Vow and head this way off the cliff to pick up the Exalted Flesh. Then go to Alexander to free him and he'll also give you another Exalted Flesh. Jump down onto the path and get the Saint Bridge Grace. Head across the bridge, collect the smithing stones, and talk to the merchant. Sell all of your runes, then buy all the smithing stones and the cracked pot. Ride down the hill, get the grace, and then head towards the ruins to pick up some Trina Lilies. You should know that you should keep a lookout for other Trina Lilies and mushrooms along your run, since you will need to use these to craft sleep pots. Hop down the cliff 2 times and head to the graveyard to pick up the runes and the Fevre's cookbook. Go down the cliff to the 3rd Church of Margit to get the Sacred Tear and the Physic Flask. Head southwest to pick up the Spike Crack Tear, then go west to the Mistwood Ruins. Hop off Torrent to crouch and approach the Rune Bear while picking up the mushrooms and the Trina Lilies along your way. Run down the stairs and get the Axe Talisman, and then head up the stairs while on Torrent and quickly get the other Trina Lilies. Then head over to Fort Height. If it isn't nighttime in your world, then get the grace to the right and change the time. Once it's nighttime, go up the hill, get the Golden Seed, and run through Fort Height. If you're fast enough, you will avoid all the enemies here. Just be sure not to get too close to the exploding barrels. Jump into this enemy to stagger him, then head up the ladder to get the Dectus Half. After that, warp to Summonwater Village. Ride on Torrent into Caelid, get the first grace, and then get the grace by Caelid Ruins. Head east and jump across the gap to enter Dragon Barrow and get the grace on the hill. Go west up the next hill to purchase the Beast Repellent Torch from the merchant. Then warp back to Dragon Barrow West Grace. From here, head east to go to Fort Ferrith, jump off Torrent before entering the fort, and crouch along the left wall to avoid the bat from seeing you. Throw a kukri at this wall to have the enemies get attracted to it. Then go along the opposite wall to get to the ladder. Get the Dectus Half, then drop down with the Beast Repellent Torch in your hand. Drop down again to get the rune that's on the ledge by the rat. Then jump across to get to the group of rats where you'll drop down again to get Radagon's Sword Seal. Then warp to Caelid Ruins. From here, head over to Redmane Castle. Get the grace that's by the teleporter, then go to the opposite side of the tower, up the rock. You'll see a scarab up here, but it's important to approach him from the right side like I do. Then just unsheath it twice to get Cragblade. After that, warp to Stormveil Shack. Make your way over to Liurnia where you should sell all of your runes to the merchant and purchase 3 Smithing Stone 1s and all of the Smithing Stone 2s. Travel along the cliff for a bit and then begin to ride along the makeshift path you see here. Eventually you want to get to the Boil Prawn Shack where you should get this grace. Equip Radagon's Sword Seal, and equip the flail. Roll through the wood next to Blackguard, then hit him once to force him into the corner. Next, use the weapon art to attack him. This should make it so that he can't escape. Once he's dead, pick up his loot, which includes the iron balls and Raya's necklace. Then go west to where you'll see a gazebo surrounded by lobsters. Hop off Torrent, then crouch up to get the smithing stones in the gazebo. Warp back to the Boil Prawn Shack, and travel southeast until you get to Raya. Speak to her to give her the necklace, and to get the Volcano Manor invitation. Go south where you'll find a teleporter, pick up the smithing stone that's by the stairs, and use the teleporter. Get the grace outside Raya Lucaria, then jump down onto this rock to go to the gazebo by the plants. Grab the smithing stones, then head over to pick up the Raya Lucaria key and warp back to the last grace. Head in the opposite direction this time, and make your way across the rooftops in order to get to the spot right above the giant crab. Throw a kukri so that it distracts the crab, then drop down and get the smithing stones. Warp back to the last grace immediately. Use the Raya Lucaria gate, then use the next gate to the right. Go north to get to the Bellum Church and get the Sacred Tear. Then head northeast to pick up the Rune Arc and continue to the Dectus Lift. Get the Altus Plateau Grace to the left, then head east past the Tree Sentinels to get the Grace and the Golden Seeds. Continue east and go down to the Sealed Tunnel. Get rid of the Illusory Wall, crouch and sneak up on the Vulgar Militiaman to backstab him. Get the bell bearing from the chest, then run back out of the tunnel. Then warp back to the last grace. Rest at the grace to talk to Melina and go to the round table. Speak to the Twin Maidens, hand over all your bell bearings, buy the dagger and the finger seal, and then speak to Hugh. Upgrade the iron balls to +6, then put Golden Vow on the Uchigatana and Cragblade on the iron balls. Be sure to keep the heavy enchantment on the iron balls as well. Warp to Warmaster's Shack, sit at the grace and use all your golden seeds and sacred tears. Then put the strength tier and the spike crack tier into your physic flask. Drink the physic, use Golden Vow far enough away from Bernal so that he doesn't get buffed too. Then use Cragblade. Stand behind Bernal and perform a jumping R2. Then do 2 charge R2s. This should kill him and give you his bell bearing. Now warp to Altus Plateau Grace and talk to Raya to send you to Volcano Manor. Talk to Tanith, get the key, then warp back to the round table. Give the Twin Maidens Bernal's bell bearing and then buy Assassin's Gambit from his shop. Also buy 5 Smithing Stone 3s. Put Assassin's Gambit on your dagger and upgrade the iron balls to +8. Warp to Altus Plateau and go to the Lux Ruins to fight Gillica. Before entering the fight, use all of your buffs. Gillica should stagger after 3 R2s if you're fast enough, and after she staggers, you should be able to charge R2 her pretty easily to death. Get the Ritual Sword Talisman, then warp to the Saint Bridge Grace. Jump over the right wall onto the Spirit Jump and head north into the cave. While running through the cave, be sure to have the Beast Repellent torch out so the wolves don't attack you. Drop down the 2 holes in the cave and stick to the left side of this room so the wolf that gets triggered doesn't hit you. Then use Assassin's Gambit and shoot each of the bats with Mighty Shot before running off onto the pillar and jumping off to head over to the waterfall to enter the boss room. If you don't move after entering the boss room, the golem shouldn't aggro yet, so use this time to use the Physic, Golden Vow, and Cragblade. Run up to the golem, charge R2 him twice. This should stagger him, then charge R2 him until he dies. This will give you the Blue Dancer charm. Then warp to Stormhill Shack. Head up the hill and enter Stormveil Castle to fight Margit. Use all of your buffs, including the Exalted Flesh, and equip the Ritual Sword Talisman. At the start of the fight, you can get 1 charge R2 off immediately. Note that it takes 3 charge R2s to stagger Margit. So depending on the move that he does first, you can stagger him immediately and kill him pretty quickly, by taking the riposte and charge R2ing him again until he dies. Some attacks that you can punish include his jumping attack, where you can get at least 2 charge R2s in. His phase transition can also be punished after he slams his hammer to the ground. After the fight, get the grace outside the gate and warp to the round table. Buy 6 more Smithing Stone 3s and 12 Smithing Stone 4s. Then upgrade the iron balls to +12. Head back to Stormveil Castle and talk to Gastok, and tell him you'll enter the main gate. Use Assassin's Gambit before running through the gate and stick to the right wall while running up and jumping past the ballistas. Go to the right through the arch to get the grace. Then head back the way you came. You should note, by the way, that you should have Assassin's Gambit active throughout this next section. Sneak past the 3 enemies guarding the archway and use your bow to Mighty Shot each of the enemies in the head. Once you get the first 2, head up the cliff to the left, and headshot the enemy on the right with a ballista. Then, to deal with the left ballista, inch up the hill, keeping this tree between you and the enemy, then headshot him. Jump across to where the second ballista enemy was, then headshot the big enemy with a fire arrow, and headshot the other 2 as well. Apply Assassin's Gambit and make it to the elevator. After you go up the elevator, get the 2 cracked pots to the left, then head to Godrick. Use all of your buffs, including the Exalted Flesh, before entering the arena, and make sure you have the Axe Talisman and the Ritual Sword Talisman equipped. Throughout the Godrick fight, you'll be able to punish him with either charge R2s or jumping R2s. If you're fast enough, you could sometimes even kill him before he makes it in his second phase. But even if you can't, you can easily get enough damage off at the beginning of second phase to kill him pretty quickly. After the fight, warp to the Limgrave Tower Bridge. Run to the right side of the bridge so that the first golem can't hit you. After you get past the second golem, begin to run to the left behind this pillar until after the archer golem shoots the arrow. Then run past them to use the teleporter. Go up the tower to activate Godrick's Great Rune, then warp to Rotview Balcony. Ride south until you are just before the fort. Then use Assassin's Gambit before getting on Torrent again. Then just run around the fort and drop down to get Flame Grant Me Strength. Then warp to the Impassable Great Bridge. Memorize Flame Grant Me Strength, level up Faith twice, and put the rest of your runes into Strength. Then equip Godrick's Great Rune and use a Rune Arc. Take the teleporter into the castle, then go down the elevator to the teleporter. Before entering the fight, be sure to have the Ritual Sword Talisman and the Axe Talisman equipped. Immediately after you use the teleporter, hop on Torrent and run away from Radahn to deload him. When you get closer to Radahn again, he should run at you instead of shooting arrows at you. During this time, use all of your buffs, including Flame Grant Me Strength. Radahn is a fight you may need to practice a bit. There are multiple openings that you can take advantage of, and I would highly suggest practicing this fight a lot in order to feel comfortable with each of them. But the easiest opening to punish is this long chopping combo. This opening allows you to get a lot of charge R2s in. The only thing you need to worry about is actually landing all of them. If you land all of them, you can either kill him before he enters phase 2, or you can take advantage of his phase 2 opening to finish him. Rest at the Grace and put all of your runes into Strength. Then warp to the Round Table and talk to the Finger Maiden and get another Talisman Pouch. Then warp to Church of Eli to buy the Crack Pots and Crafting Kit from Kale. Warp to the Outer Wall Phantom Tree Grace, and then make your way to Draconic Tree Sentinel. To avoid the Archer Golems, you can use Assassin's Gambit and hop on Torrent to ride on the left side of the map. Once you get to Draconic Tree Sentinel, use Assassin's Gambit and crouch along the left wall. Use all of your buffs and make sure you're at full health in order to use the Ritual Sword Talisman. Also, be sure you have the Blue Dancer Charm equipped. Sneak up to Draconic Tree Sentinel and charge R2 him until he dies. Rest at the Grace and put all of your runes into Strength, and then enter the capital to touch the first Grace. Use Assassin's Gambit and run past all the bubble guys before you drop down onto the roof. Run across the roofs until you get to the main path, and take a right down the elevator. Head across the roofs, and jump onto the steeple here to get to the ledge. Use Assassin's Gambit again and run past the enemies. Up the Dragon Ring, and past all the other enemies until you get to Godfrey's arena. Use all of your buffs, then enter the fight. When fighting Godfrey, you can strafe a lot of his attacks to the right and punish them with charge R2s. Also, when he uses a stomping attack, you can jump the stomp and jump R1 him. Do this enough, and the fight can be pretty easy. After the fight, when you get to the Black Knife, crouch walk on the right side to get past her. Rest at the Grace and level up your strength as much as you can. Then craft as many sleep pots as you can and head to Morgott. Use all of your buffs, equip Radagon Sword Seal, and enter the fight. While fighting Morgott, you want to bait out the spear throwing attack. Once he does this attack, charge R2 him 3 times to stagger him and then riposte him. Charge R2 him again after he is fully standing up to send him into phase 2. Note that if you charge R2 him too early, he will not phase transition. Once he's entering phase 2, throw 2 sleep pots at him and dodge the geysers that appear on the ground. Morgott will sleep, allowing you to charge R2 him again until he dies. After the fight, be sure not to use any of your runes yet. Talk to Melina, then warp to the East Capital Rampart. Head down the same way and open the giant door. Then make your way to the capital outskirts. If you use Assassin's Gambit throughout the running sections and keep your distance from all the enemies, you shouldn't have a problem with them. Get the Grace in the outskirts and make sure it's not nighttime, since if it is, there will be a Knight's Cavalry on your path. Ride on Torrent to the lift and get the Grace before the ruins, and enter the ruins and go down the stairs to get the Bell Bearing. Warp to the Round Table, give the Bell Bearing to the Twin Maidens, and buy 12 Smithing Stone 5s and 12 Smithing Stone 6s. Upgrade the Iron Balls to plus 18, and warp back to the Zamora ruins. From here, ride to Fire Giant. Once you get to the bridge, swing your weapon behind this enemy to have him turn around. Then ride across the bridge and go all the way across the frozen lake. Then take the Spirit Jump to bypass some of the enemies, and continue. Once you get to this part of the hill, go straight and around the cliff so that you don't aggro a giant hand that's to your left. Touch the Grace here and level up strength as much as you can. Before going into Fire Giant's arena, be sure to go southwest into the Giant Skull. Here you'll find an Ancient Dragon Smithing Stone, then warp back to the Grace. Enter Fire Giant's arena, and before you trigger the fight, use all of your buffs. Activate the fight and charge R2 his ankle. Once the ankle breaks, continue to charge R2 him until he staggers. Once he does, throw 2 sleep pots and immediately use Golden Vow and Flame Grant Me Strength. Then use Crackblade. Charge R2 the ankle again, then jump R2, and he should phase transition. At the beginning of the phase, head over to these patches of grass. After he slams his hand down, charge R2 him and he should stagger. After he staggers, go up to his eye, tap R2, charge R2, tap R2, then charge R2 one more time. This should kill. Once you make it to Faramazula, use Assassin's Gambit to get by all the enemies. Wait for the enemy to walk past you, and then go into the arena. Then use Assassin's Gambit and look slightly up. Walk forward until you trigger the fight. Then throw 2 sleep pots. Your accuracy on the sleep pots don't really matter, as long as you don't move your camera in between the 2 sleep pots. After both Godskin Noble and Godskin Apostle are asleep, make sure you heal to full and then use all of your buffs. Charge R2 Noble 3 times, then wait for your stamina to recover a bit. Then riposte him. Then continue to charge R2 him until you don't do damage to the main health bar anymore. After this, rebuff with Golden Vow and Flame Grant Me Strength. Then charge R2 Godskin Apostle 2 times. Wait for your stamina to recover, then charge R2 him again until you can't do any more damage to the main health bar. After he's dead, go around the pillar. Here you have to wait for the next Godskin to appear. Throw another sleep pot at them, and then once they sleep, charge R2 him to death. Continue past Godskin Duo and wait for this enemy to walk underneath you. Use Assassin's Gambit, then run to the next grace. Warp to the round table, give the bell bearing to the Twin Maidens, and purchase 12 Smithing Stone 7s and 12 Smithing Stone 8s. Then upgrade the Iron Balls to plus 24. Warp back to Farum Azula and use Assassin's Gambit while hugging the wall to not alert the birds. You'll have an easier time not alerting the birds if you also crouch while sneaking past them. Once you get to this area before the dragon, bring out your bow. Then use the bow's Ash of War Mighty Shot to shoot an arrow at the dragon. This should cause the dragon to despawn. Continue forward, and once you get to this narrow pathway, crouch and not be seen by the enemy. Enter the building after using Assassin's Gambit again, and throw a sleep pot at the enemy blocking the stairs. Then go up the elevator, use Assassin's Gambit and crouch to the left around the Draconic Tree Sentinel. Before entering Maliketh's arena, use all of your buffs. Punishing phase 1 is pretty simple. Whenever he lunges at you, you can do a running R1, and if he turns and does a dragging attack, you can charge R2 him twice. And if he does the Beast Claw attack, you can stand at his side and jump R2 the attack. After you send him into phase 2, first back up a little bit, then run into him to the opposite side. He should stagger after you charge R2 him 2 or 3 times. Then you can finish the fight with more charge R2s. After being sent to Lando, be sure to use all of your runes, including the remembrances you might have. Level up strength as much as you can, and go to Ofnir. Before activating the fight, use all of your buffs and remove everything you have equipped except the talismans and the iron balls. Stand behind Ofnir and jump R2 him. Then charge R2 him twice. Upgrade strength as much as you can at the next grace. Then use your buffs before entering Godfrey's arena. You can punish the opening attack by running around him to the right and getting a charge R2. The rest of phase 1 is pretty much exactly like fighting the Gold Spirit version of him, where you can strafe the axe attacks and can jump R1 the stomping attacks. Once phase 2 starts, you can punish the opening attack again by running around to the right and getting a charge R2. If he staggers after this, you can charge R2 him again before getting a riposte. If he doesn't stagger at the start of the second phase though, you can dodge many of his attacks by rolling behind him and to the right. Whittle him down until he begins to yell again, then you should win pretty easily. After that, enter Radagon's arena after buffing. Run to Radagon and do 3 charge R2s. Jump R2 the stomping attack, then charge R2 him twice. Cast Flame Grant Me Strength and Cragblade before Elden Beast. Run up to Elden Beast and charge R2 2 times. Then get to Elden Beast's side and make sure you manage your stamina to be able to charge R2 him 3 times to stagger him. Then go to the front of Elden Beast, charge R2 him twice, and riposte. Congratulations, you just no-hit Elden Ring without taking a single hit. If you want to check out a different guide that uses the Serpent Hunter instead of the Iron Balls, be sure to watch my other no-hit guide right here. And if you found this guide useful at all, please be sure to like and subscribe. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you on the next one.